Hello everyone, and welcome to my Young and the Restless official 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Is this twist the secret to how Kane could win Lily back? Imply that Kane Ashby might be able to win back Lily Winters with the aid of one thing. Could a significant turn of events be the solution to Kane's issues regarding the reunion he is looking for? Although he hasn't given Lily any compelling reasons to trust him again, Kane is fervently interested in a future with her. Given all of the ways Kane has harmed her in the past and the lies he has said, it is simple to understand why Lily is cautious. Lily also disapproved of Kane's choice to get back in touch with Colin Atkinson prior to his passing. It didn't help Kane either because of Aristotle Dumas' deceit or the anarchy that occurred in Nice. Kane isn't prepared to give up on writing his next chapter with Lily, though. Kane is hopeful that he might be able to wear Lily down and persuade her to give him another opportunity in spite of her repeated rejections. If Kane can get Matty Ashby and Charlie Ashby to forgive him as well, he would want nothing more than to get back together romantically with Lily and start a family with the twins. This leads us to the twist that could enable Kane fulfill his personal ambitions, which he has acknowledged are more significant to him than his career objectives. Y&R might eventually allow Kane to land in a dangerous situation. A story-related twist that could endanger Kane's life is possible. Kane might, for instance, be in a vehicle accident or another kind of mishap. There is also a chance that Kane will be severely hurt by an enigmatic foe. Lily wants something to help her break down the barriers she has put up around Kane. That might be aided by nearly losing Kane forever, which would also result in some amazing hospital bedside sequences. In a scenario like that, we could definitely picture Lily pleading with a comatose Kane to open his eyes. With tears in her eyes, Lily can give Kane a reunion in exchange for him simply returning to her. This seems like the kind of situation that may jolt Lily up to the fact that she still loves her ex-husband and shake her to her very core. Put another way, a near-death incident that demonstrates to Lily how much she stands to lose could be the solution to Kane's reunion issues. According to previews on The Young and the Restless, as their plot develops, Lily will receive updates on more startling Kane news. Kane Ashby's journey toward redemption has been paved with jagged rocks of betrayal, poor decisions, and heartbreak. But if there is one constant in his complicated life, it is his undying love for Lily Winters. Despite everything that has transpired, the betrayals, the broken promises, and the painful wounds that never seem to heal, Kane still dreams of a future where Lily is by his side. For him, it's not just about reuniting with a lost love. It's about piecing together a family that once felt unshakable, a family that crumbled under the weight of mistrust. Kane longs for Lily, not in the shallow way of a man who wants to erase his mistakes with simple apologies, but in the desperate, soul-searching way of a man who realizes that life without her is hollow. And yet, no matter how many times Kane has tried to win Lily's heart again, the walls she has built are formidable. Lily cannot forget how deeply Kane wounded her trust, whether it was his entanglements with Juliet Helton, his lies about Colin Atkinson, or the endless ways he seemed to prioritize secrecy over transparency. Even now, when Kane appears more determined than ever to turn his life around, Lily looks at him with both fondness and caution, torn between what her heart remembers and what her mind warns. She has learned through years of struggle that Kane's love, while real, is often accompanied by chaos. But herein lies the possibility of a twist so powerful that it could dismantle every wall Lily has put up. A twist that only The Young and the Restless could deliver with the kind of emotional punch fans crave. The heart of this twist lies not in Kane's words but in his mortality, in the fragile reminder that love sometimes needs a shock to awaken it. What if Kane were to face a situation that nearly stripped him from the world entirely? A harrowing accident, a violent attack from an unknown enemy, or an unforeseen medical crisis? These are the types of events that soap operas thrive on. And in Kane's case, such a brush with death could be the very catalyst Lily needs to look past her fears and confront the love that never really died. Picture it. Kane, battered and unconscious, fighting for his life after a devastating car crash or a brutal encounter orchestrated by a shadowy foe with unfinished business from Kane's past. 4 days, perhaps weeks, he lingers in a hospital bed, tubes and monitors keeping him tethered to the world. Genoa City watches with bated breath, but it is Lily who sits at his side, hour after hour, unable to walk away. She may tell herself she's only there for Matty and Charlie's sake, to help them through the trauma of potentially losing their father. But in reality, her heart pulls her there, her subconscious forcing her to acknowledge feelings she's long tried to suppress. Lily, in her quiet, poised way, has always been a woman of strength and conviction. But strength sometimes comes at the cost of vulnerability, and Kane's near-death experience could be the crack in her armor. Imagine her leaning close to him in the stillness of a hospital room, the beeping monitors creating a rhythm for her racing heartbeat. With tears streaming down her face, Lily could whisper the words she has long buried. "Don't leave me, Kane. Don't make me realize too late that I still love you." These moments, raw and stripped of all pretense, are what could awaken Lily to a truth she has resisted. No matter how hard she's tried, Kane's presence in her life is irreplaceable. For years, fans have debated whether Kane truly deserves Lily's forgiveness, but soap operas are not about perfection. They are about passion, about the kind of love that defies logic and survives even the ugliest storms. If Kane survives such an ordeal, he would wake not only to a second chance at life but potentially to a second chance at love with Lily. Of course, the question arises, why would this kind of twist work when so many of Kane's apologies and promises have failed? The answer lies in human psychology and the nature of storytelling. Words can be dismissed as empty, especially when they come from someone with a history of deception. But almost losing someone strips away pride, excuses, and rational defenses. It forces emotions into the open. For Lily, watching Kane fight for his life would not just remind her of his humanity, it would remind her of their history, the laughter, the family they created, the way Kane once made her feel whole. In moments of crisis, people do not cling to anger, they cling to love. And though Lily has every reason to guard her heart, she would not be able to deny the surge of feelings when faced with the possibility of a world without Kane. Another layer to this twist is the potential involvement of Matty and Charlie. The twins have also endured their father's mistakes and struggled with forgiving him. If they were to rally around Kane during his time of crisis, forgiving him as he hovers on the brink of death, their reconciliation could influence Lily's decision. Family has always been at the core of Lily's identity, and seeing her children embrace Kane again might soften her resolve. Kane, who has often struggled with balancing his personal ambitions against his family responsibilities, could finally prove, through no words of his own, but simply through his survival, that he belongs with them. His fight to live would become a metaphor for his fight to be a better man, and Lily, witnessing this fight, could find the courage to let go of her bitterness. There is also the soap opera tradition of fate and destiny, where characters are drawn back to each other through extraordinary circumstances. Kane and Lily's love story has always been tumultuous, but it has also been magnetic. No matter how far apart they drift, fate seems to pull them back together. A life-threatening twist would play perfectly into this theme, showing that despite all the missteps, their story isn't finished. In fact, it could reignite their romance in a way that feels both nostalgic and brand new. Fans would watch as Lily slowly transitions from cautious caretaker to rekindled lover, perhaps starting with small gestures, a hand squeeze, a kiss on the forehead, before finally admitting that her heart has never truly let go. But beyond the emotional drama, this twist could also create ripple effects across Genoa City. Questions would swirl. Who caused the accident? If it wasn't random? Could an old enemy of Kane's, perhaps linked to his father Colin or to one of Kane's many shady entanglements, have resurfaced for revenge? Such a mystery would provide a suspenseful backdrop to the emotional storyline, keeping viewers hooked while rooting for Kane and Lily's reunion. Moreover, this could set the stage for Kane's redemption not just in Lily's eyes, but in the community's. Surviving such an ordeal, while also uncovering the truth about what happened, could give Kane the chance to prove his integrity in a way he never has before. It is important to acknowledge that redemption does not erase the past, and Lily's forgiveness would not mean forgetting the pain Kane caused. Rather, it would mean choosing to believe that love is worth risking again, that people can change, and that the future can be brighter than the past. This is the essence of soap opera romance. Love that is battered but unbroken, love that endures trials only to emerge stronger. Kane's brush with death could serve as a symbolic rebirth, a chance to start over not with empty promises but with actions that demonstrate his devotion. For Lily, the decision to reunite with Kane would be as much about her own healing as it would be about his redemption. By allowing herself to forgive, she would free herself from the prison of resentment, opening the door to happiness once more. In the end, the twist that could allow Kane to win Lily back is not a grand gesture of wealth, power, or charm, but something far simpler and far more profound. The reminder that life is fragile, love is precious, and tomorrow is never guaranteed. Nearly losing Kane could jolt Lily into recognizing that despite all the reasons to walk away, her heart still beats in rhythm with his. It would be the kind of dramatic, emotional, and unforgettable storyline that The Young and the Restless thrives on, one that honors the history of Kane and Lily's relationship while offering a path forward that feels both earned and inevitable. For fans, it would be a moment of catharsis, a long-awaited payoff to years of heartbreak, and a testament to the enduring power of love. And for Kane, it would be the ultimate victory, not a victory won by manipulation or persistence, but by surviving, by proving through the sheer act of holding on that he belongs with Lily, now and forever. As the twist unfolds, Kane Ashby's accident, or perhaps deliberate attack, sends shockwaves through Genoa City, instantly transforming his quest for Lily's forgiveness into a matter of life and death. When word spreads that Kane has been rushed to the hospital in critical condition, Lily Winters feels her world spin in a way she hasn't in years. Despite every wall she has put up, despite her insistence that Kane no longer holds a place in her future, the thought of losing him shakes her to her core. She finds herself rushing to the hospital before she even processes the decision, her instincts overpowering her logic. As she enters the sterile corridors, the smell of antiseptic filling her lungs, memories flood back, memories of the laughter they once shared, the home they built with Matty and Charlie, and the devastating fights that tore them apart. The sight of Kane lying unconscious, pale and still beneath the harsh glow of fluorescent lights, strips away all her carefully constructed defenses. It is not the man who lied and betrayed her she sees, it is the man who once held her through heartbreak, the father of her children, the love who once promised her forever. Sitting beside him, Lily's composure falters. She whispers his name softly at first, her hand trembling as it brushes against his. Kane, it's me. Please, fight. Please don't leave us. The tears she has held back for years now flow freely, each drop a confession of the love she has buried beneath anger and pride. Matty and Charlie arrive soon after, their youthful confidence shaken by the sight of their father so fragile. For years, they struggled with their father's mistakes, questioning his reliability and resenting his lies, but seeing him in this state dismantles their resentment in an instant. Charlie grips Lily's hand, his voice breaking as he says, "Mom, he doesn't look like Dad. He looks like he's already halfway gone." Lily's heart shatters, but she steadies her children, reminding them that Kane is a fighter, that he has survived worse than most people could endure. Together, the three of them form a united vigil, rarely leaving Kane's side. Nurses come and go, checking machines, adjusting for drips, but the emotional heartbeat of the room is the family gathered around him, clinging to hope. Matty, ever the quieter of the twins, finds her own way to speak to her father, whispering to him about the life milestones she still wants him to witness, her graduation, her future career, the family she might one day build. Charlie, emotional but fiery, demands Kane wake up, half in anger, half in desperation, pleading, "Come on, Dad, you don't get to mess up again by leaving us like this." Their words, though they don't know it, seep into Kane's subconscious, echoing like lifelines pulling him toward consciousness. Outside Kane's hospital room, whispers ripple through Genoa City. Friends and foes alike wonder whether Kane's accident was random or intentional. Some suspect an old enemy of Colin Atkinson's resurfacing, while others speculate that Kane's recent entanglements have come back to haunt him. The mysterious circumstances create tension and intrigue, giving weight to the idea that Kane has always lived with one foot in the shadows. For Lily, however, those questions pale beside the raw reality in front of her. She may lose him forever. And it is in that hospital room, hour after hour, that Lily's walls begin to crumble. She recalls how Kane stood by her when she was diagnosed with cancer, how he loved her through her darkest moments, and how he fought for their family even when it seemed hopeless. Yes, he hurt her. Yes, he lied. But none of that erases the undeniable bond they shared, a bond strong enough to resurface in her heart when faced with the possibility of permanent loss. As days pass, Kane's condition remains touch and go. There are moments when the monitors beep erratically, sending Lily's heart into her throat. She presses her forehead to his hand, whispering fervent pleas that surprise even her. I can't lose you, Kane. Not like this. Not without telling you. She pauses, overwhelmed by the truth she can no longer deny. Not without telling you that I still love you. In that moment, Lily feels exposed and terrified, but also liberated. The words, once locked away by bitterness, are spoken into the quiet of the hospital room, and even though Kane does not stir, she senses that somehow, on some level, he hears her. Then comes the turning point. Kane begins to stir. It is subtle at first, a twitch of his fingers, a faint shift in his breathing, but for Lily and the twins, it feels monumental. They hold their breath, watching intently as his eyelids flutter. Doctors rush in, checking vitals, urging the family to stay calm, but Lily's heart pounds with hope. When Kane finally opens his eyes, groggy and disoriented, the first thing he sees is Lily's tear-streaked face hovering above him. He tries to speak, his voice raspy and weak, but Lily hushes him with a soft touch. Don't talk. Just rest. You're here. That's all that matters. In that moment, Kane realizes something profound. Lily has been there. Through everything. Despite her anger, she never left his side when it mattered most. And though he is too weak to say it, the gratitude in his eyes says everything. Recovery is slow, but it gives Kane and Lily the gift of time. Time to talk, to reflect, to rediscover pieces of their bond that had long been buried. Sitting by his bedside, Lily finds herself laughing softly at his stubbornness, crying at his vulnerability, and rediscovering the warmth that once defined their marriage. Kane, humbled and shaken by his brush with death, speaks not with grand promises but with quiet sincerity. He admits his failures without excuses, acknowledges the pain he caused, and expresses his gratitude for her presence when he thought he might never wake again. For once, it is not about him convincing her to forgive him. It is about him showing her that he is simply grateful to still be alive, grateful for the chance to be in her orbit. Meanwhile, the twins' renewed closeness with their father deepens the emotional impact of Kane's survival. They, too, find healing in the process, realizing that holding on to resentment only robs them of precious moments. Lily witnesses this transformation in her children and feels her heart soften even further. Family dinners begin to happen again, informal, tentative, but real. Kane, though still recovering, insists on being present, even if it's just to sit at the table while Lily and the twins eat. The sight of her family together again stirs emotions Lily thought she had buried for good. But the young and the restless thrives on complication, and this reunion is not without challenges. Questions about Kane's accident linger, and as investigators dig deeper, it becomes clear that someone may have deliberately targeted him. The mystery pulls Lily and Kane into a shared journey, forcing them to work together as allies once again. This collaboration reignites their old rhythm, the way they once complemented each other as partners in both life and love. Every moment spent unraveling the truth brings them closer, until it becomes undeniable. The love between them has survived, scarred but intact. The climax of this storyline comes when Kane, finally strong enough to stand on his own 2 feet again, decides to stop running from the truth. Standing before Lily in their home, with Matty and Charlie watching silently from the background, Kane makes no grand declarations. Instead, he simply says, I don't deserve you, Lily. But if you still love me, even just a little, I'll spend the rest of my life proving that this time, I'll never let you down. His vulnerability, his willingness to accept that the decision rests solely with her, is what finally breaks through Lily's resistance. After a long silence, she steps forward, her eyes brimming with tears, and whispers, I never stopped loving you, Kane. I just stopped believing in us. But maybe it's time I believe again. The embrace that follows is not just a reunion of lovers, it is the rebirth of a family, a healing of old wounds, and the promise of a future rebuilt from ashes. For fans of the young and the restless, this twist delivers everything a great soap storyline should: high-stakes drama, raw emotion, family unity, mystery, and ultimately, the triumph of love. Kane's near-death experience serves as the perfect narrative device to strip away years of bitterness and remind Lily, and the audience, of the enduring bond at the heart of their story. It proves that sometimes, love is not rekindled by words or promises, but by the stark reminder of how fragile life truly is. And as Kane and Lily step forward together, Hand in hand, they embody the soap opera truth that love, no matter how battered, can always find its way back.